Let me ask you this, and this is a little more of a personal question. You've obviously taken some somewhat controversial stances on some things related to the games, i.e. the transgender situation. How has your stances or positions affected your personal life or professional life?
Well, I learned in 1980 that if you take a position, you might get hate mail and death threats. Back then it was, snail mail, as we call it now. Thank goodness for that. And here I am, still alive. So if something is important, this is what my parents taught me, because we're one family. The way we spell our name, we're all related. And so as soon as my name got out there, I said, this could be bad. And they said, you got to do what you got to do. So I deeply appreciate that. I say my parents were evolved, and they certainly were. And my brothers also, whatever happened with them, I was sorry for, but I had to do that. Now, on the transgender quote issue, as a sports administrator, which I lately realized that's what I had become, our duty is to make sure that the field of play is safe and fair, so that you know that you'll have a safe and fair chance to be the best, or to show that you're the best, or show that you're not the best. But it has to be safe and fair. And what we don't know about transgender athletes is enormous. We just don't know. There's been no specific research on their strength or retention of strength after they're trans. And to me, as hard as I work, it's so hard to explain how hard you work to become an Olympian. It is enormous work. I recall doing weightlifting workouts where the goal was to lift 22,000 pounds in 45 minutes. Now think about that. And indeed, the act of rowing itself is no joke. And then we would run stadiums or stairs when it got too cold inside the towers at the University of Pennsylvania. And then we would, once we got back on the water, we would row 18 miles twice a day and do a 6 to 9 mile run. Now that is really challenging training. And so until I know that someone who's trans will not have the reciprocal benefits, and particularly, let me be very specific, it's after puberty. Those who are trans after puberty will retain their lifelong, however long it is after puberty, that they stay in the body they prefer not to, and can make the decision to do what they feel is best for themselves. I'm so glad that can happen. What I want to know is that since you're going to be the same height, your heart's going to be the same heart, I want to make sure that the size differential and the challenge of training will not turn out to have additional benefits that I or other women would not be able to attain. And that's the basic issue. We have no scientific proof at all. There have been so few studies, if any at all. And so until we know now that until puberty, kids in sports are pretty much the same. It's after puberty that the changes begin and the benefits go to the male. Just look at the results of the Olympic Games, of all the sports in the Olympic Games. There's at least a 10 to 20% differential going to the men. And to me, that says a lot. And until we can make certain that being trans does not continue that 10 to 20% differential, I think we should hold up.
Very interesting. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and let's talk about your book. We're talking to Anita DeFrantz. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.